So welcome to class. Okay, so weight loss. Let's see that, yeah. Myths. Okay. All right. All right. We're going to go over 5 weight loss myths. The first one is if you eat less and exercise more, so let's just say move more, eat less, move more, you'll lose weight. This is pretty much the main message. I know when Michelle Obama was in the White House, I think this was even her slogan. Don't quote me on that, but that's been our notion for just forever, since the whole, so right out of the box, I'm going to blow the first one right out of the water. If you eat less and you exercise more, you will lose weight. Raise your hand if you've tried that before and it works for a little while, but then it doesn't last. This has been my struggle for 9 years. Ever since I started trying to lose weight, I thought all I need, it's just math. If you eat less food and you burn off more calories, you're gonna lose weight. But guess what? It doesn't work. So it's a myth. And that's what we're going to uncover later on in this lesson is why it's a myth. And you know that it doesn't work because you are in here listening to me talk about this right now. If it worked, if all you had to do was eat less and move more, we would not have the obesity crisis that we have in the United States. So it's completely, it doesn't work. The second one is if you eat 5 to 6 small meals a day. I'm going to be irritated that my back skin is showing, but see, that's the thing about this. This shirt used to be, I used to use it to cover up my rolls, but now it's so loose right here that I had to take it up back here. But then when I lean over, you see, because I got these low pants on, and that's irritating me now too. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, so number 2 is eat 5 to 6 small meals a day, and you will increase your metabolism, and this will help you lose weight. I can't even remember now why they even told me to do this, but as soon as I learned this, I did it for years. And basically all I did was make my little meals and eat them all day long. And I was starving on top of that. So it is completely not true. You cannot do this. You cannot do this. It will not help you lose weight. So if you're tired of meal planning, all these little tiny meals all throughout the day, and then feeling like, oh crap, I was, helping process heifers all day. I couldn't get my snacks in. I couldn't do this. I'm going to screw up my metabolism because I'm not eating constantly. It's a myth. Don't worry about that one. Yes. Okay. 3 is eat breakfast. And I'm going to put early on here. Okay, so the same thing as breakfast is the most important meal of the day. You need to, you need to get out of bed and get something in your belly so that you don't crash your metabolism. The reason why you're fat is because you skip breakfast. That's a myth. That's not true. It will not help you lose weight if you eat breakfast right out of the box, first thing, even an hour after you get out of bed. This does not need to happen. Okay. 4, skipping meals. Skipping meals is bad. Oh my gosh. I used to get mad. Well, it kind of ties into eating 5 or 6 meals a day. I used to get mad at people when I would hear, oh, I skipped lunch. Oh, I skipped breakfast. Oh, I didn't eat all day. And I'm like, oh, you can't do that. You're going to wreck your metabolism. You got to eat 5 or 6 meals a day. If you skip a meal, it's terrible. You're going to slow your metabolism. You won't be able to burn any calories, and you're going to just stay fat. That's terrible, but not true. You can totally skip meals, and skipping meals will not inhibit your weight loss. So that's a myth. All right, 5. Our last myth of this, there's more besides 5, but this is what I wanted to talk about today, because this is going to tie into what we're going to be going over as we go through the Cowgirl Up diet. So eating fat makes you fat. And I did some interesting research in the last few months on how did eating fat get such a bad rap, because there is actually no proof whatsoever, scientific studies that prove that eating fat makes you fat. So how in the tarnation did we get so obsessed with all these low-fat diets? That is what any mainstream weight loss, eating healthy nutrition plan is based around low fat, the mainstream people. And the nutritionists and the dietitians, they say you need to watch your fat intake. Sadly enough, and as we talk about this more, and I can tie in some resources of where I got this information, it has way more to do with politics than it does facts and scientific data to back this up. Back in the 60s or 70s, don't quote me on the facts here, but historically, they needed a scapegoat for why everyone was putting on the pounds and they were not able to lose the weight. What was going on? They needed a scapegoat. So guess what got it? Fat. Fat got it because they could make people eat less and move more. It just made more sense. You could do the math. You could see it all laid out. It should work. It should work. It should work. It should work. So they promoted that. They promoted exercise, eating less, watching your calories, low-fat diet, eating more vegetables, eating these little tiny meals, never skip breakfast, skipping any type of meal is bad. They packaged that all up so beautifully, and we all drank the Kool-Aid. Yes, we did. But let me tell you, all of this is not the way that it really is. And there's all kinds of studies and proof out there to say why, but the way I'm going to convince you is not with all of my professional scientific talk that I can't do, because I actually got a D in chemistry in college, so that's not my forte. I can tell you that these are myths because I proved to myself that none of this works, and I proved to myself that all of the opposite does work, and that's what this diet is based on. That's what's worked for me for a long time now, that I've stuck with, that is never going to go. I've proved it to myself long enough that this is not some funky deal that I'm going to fall off. This is the way I'm going to eat for the rest of my life. It is not a quick program that you follow and then you go, okay, I lost the weight, now how do I keep it off? That's not what this is about. This is what I'm going to be teaching you in the modules coming, is actual metabolic shift, so that none of this stuff even pertains to what works and is no longer what you'll be doing. Okay, so it's very, very exciting. And you can prove it to yourself right now, because you've done all these things. And tell me, if you still have issues with weight, then none of this is working. It doesn't work. And right there is proof enough, without any scientific mumbo jumbo, that it's a myth. There's nothing wrong with you. You just believed something that everyone was putting out, and they were very convincing of it, but it didn't work. And you guys have heard me talk about the color-coded containers from Beachbody and the 21-day fix, and how reluctant I was to come out of the closet and say, hey, I'm a Beachbody coach and these containers suck ass. I cannot make these work for me. And I'm tired of trying harder. I have tried as hard as I can and they don't work. So it is not you. The problem is not you. The problem is we've been believing things that are not true. Hallelujah. All right. So that covers our first part of this.